Well, here we are, another episode in.
Yep.
These weeks are just flying by.
How many episodes is that? You know.
I think we're on, geez, I don't know, 55, 56. Well, wait, we've been one full year now.
Yep.
Biggie's Boondock Buzz, the channel, is 1 full year as of a couple weeks ago. So it's about
55.
55 channels.
Probably, yeah. 55 is my season. Look, that's the same age as you.
Double nickel. Happy birthday, Buzz fam.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching, Buzz fam. We're back again with another episode here at the Boondock Buzz. By the way,
Bear's excited. Did you hear him? He's spinning.
Yeah, by the way, we are in our 340 some day, I believe. I'll find out the true number.
Oh, yeah.
Of camping for free.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And there's no, right now, we've got it. We're on track to make it, like what we have scheduled and booked out. We're on track to make it. We're digging this volunteering gig. So this could probably be something we make as our primary kind of moving forward. So we'll see how this all goes. But I just love volunteering. So
speaking of volunteering, yes, we are still at St. Mark's. We've been volunteering here for going a little over a month.
Yeah, we're up, about 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks now.
We've got about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks left, I would say.
Something like that, yeah. It's important to note that if volunteering at a national park or something similar to this, general rule of thumb, they like you to stay at least 2 months.
Yes.
So if you're looking into that, then just kind of plan on 2-month stints, which is a little bit longer than I think, because ideally I like the 1 month.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot different than moving every 2 weeks like we were.
It's better than every 2 weeks. Yeah.
With that being said, Buzz fam, we are going to visit St. Mark's, and we're going to be looking for a couple animals out there that you may want to avoid.
Yeah, there's a few things out there, and it's I'll make some notations, but I've learned a lot while I've been working with the interpretive team here at St. Mark's. A lot about the animals and some of the myths that we can dispense of today in this episode, which will be probably a great relief to some of you who aren't familiar with living in the bayou, living near coast, or living in some of these tropical or subtropical areas if you're not used to that, and the creatures and even the insects that come along with it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to divulge which creatures we're going to see right now or look for, because we may not see them. We may get skunked. And no, we're not going to be looking for a skunk. So you don't have to worry about that.
No.
However, one of the things that is going to be top of our mind is our safety for not only us, but our beloved Bear.
Yes.
And we know we all love Bear, right?
Yeah, everybody loves Bear. You can't help it. He's such a nice guy.
So let's talk about that before we head out.
Okay.
Number one, when you're going out into the wild, because that's literally what we're going to do. I mean, they try to keep this as wild as possible.
Yeah.
And we're not going to filter this at all. So whatever we see, we're going to see. We have no idea. This is recorded before we're out there. So bring a good leash for your pet, not a retractable. You don't have control over that thing. So make sure you bring a good leash that you have full control of your pet.
Yeah.
Because there are critters out there, whether it be gators, bears, or whatnot, they will attack and they will go after the pet first, because that's what they presume is food.
Yeah, pets are food to them.
Yes.
Especially smaller dogs. And a lot of us, when we head out to a place that's probably not heavily populated, like a refuge where it's pretty wide open spaces, you're gonna wanna feel like you can just let your dog run and do their thing because it's fun and it's what they love and you love making them happy. We're here to tell you that's not a good idea. Now, whereas, some of the animals that we're gonna see out there, they don't necessarily attack, but your dog is food to them. And sometimes they're hard to see, so you may be putting your pet in danger without realizing it.
Plus, they have a tendency to startle anything that's around them because they move faster than we do.
Yeah.
Dogs move faster than we do. At least they do compared to Biggie.
Yeah, they're curious.
Biggie don't move fast, so.
Yeah, no.
The other thing is safety.
Yep.
The reason why Krissy's coming out with Biggie out there and is very simple. She's going to leave me for dead. The reason for that is because she
weren't supposed
wants
to talk about that.
Make sure she's with the slowest person possible. So if there's a foot race, they're gonna get that person first. Being an incomplete paraplegic, I think you might have the upper hand.
I might. but I didn't think you were onto me that fast.
Oh man, you have no idea how fast my... Oh.
Yeah, the best laid plans, guys. Anyway.
All right, next thing we want to do, because there is a probability, I wouldn't say probability, a possibility of getting injured out there, we want to make sure we have a good first aid kit. Right here.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff out there available online. We picked this up online. I'll put it in the link, the description below. If you want to, get something like this, if you like to travel the country and get outdoors, which, hey, we at Buzz Fam, we encourage you all to do that, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
But we've got a lot of stuff here, and it's compacted. Why don't you explain what we have quickly here?
There's a few things in here. It's just this is a simple first aid kit. It just has some gauze and it has a compass, which is important. There's a little flashlight in here. There's a little teeny knife and some sutures and scissors. And another great thing to have in here is like glow sticks and little alcohol wipes and all the things just in case something happens. You never know. You could get a small injury, but there's another good reason to have something like this and include in it water bottles and even some protein bars or something to help sustain you just in case you lose your way, because that can happen when you're out in the woods. And I've got some stories to tell you about that, true stories that have happened around here.
Oh yeah, one of them's kind of scary too, isn't it?
Well,
Are you gonna talk about that one?
I wasn't planning on talking about that one.
I think she will though.
Wow.
We'll see.
There's some things that have happened, but it's important that you have something with you, and this is a great size because you can just throw it over your shoulder and take it with you, and it fits water bottles and all the things that you're gonna need just in case. You never know. From different bites, from insects, even other critters.
And speaking of insects, get some good gut bug spray. Mosquito.
Yeah.
And here, in particular, we have the no-see-ums.
Yeah. There, in each region that you're in, it sounds like there's gonna be a special bug spray that you can get that's suitable for each area. Around here, there's something, I get tongue-tied with the name, so I call it Captain Picard. But it's like Picardia or Picardina or Picardinia, something like that.
Okay.
There's a spray, everybody who lives here and has been here for a time knows about it. And that's gonna happen the same place in any region that you go to. Ask the locals, ask a visitor center, ask people in the know that, what's the best bug spray or deterrent that I can get. And we prefer, more natural, but you gotta get what you gotta get to keep yourself from getting bit up and injured. Because ultimately, if you get too many bites, that's gonna make you sick, and you don't want to get sick when you're out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, so wear bug spray. Also, drink plenty of water.
Plenty of water, electrolytes. There's a lot of great water additives out there, supplements that you can get to add to your water to give you some more sustainability, or just to give you a little bit more energy, but also to help maintain that water and have the water work for you. Plain water is great, but a lot of times when you're hot, it just runs right through you. It comes out in your sweat right away. So if you get something that's got a supplement with some salt in it, surprisingly, those are good things that will help you maintain that hydration while you're out and about, especially on a humid day, hot day. In different areas of our country, it gets damn hot. And I've seen, and people have talked about how the sun can feel different in different areas, like it is so much closer. So things to think about, don't take it lightly. If you're someone who's an adventurous, who's been out and about in the outdoors, but you're not real familiar with being in the South per se, or really dry climates or really humid climates, all the different things, do some research and talk to some people who know, because you might be surprised. I know I have been. As much time as Eric and I have spent in the wilderness, most of our time has been, above, in colder states. So we're experiencing things we hadn't before. Yeah. And this could be common knowledge to so many of you. It just wasn't for us. So we wanted to bring that to light.
All right. Second last thing, if you notice there's a familiar face right here. This is from our previous episode, how we handle church on the go.
Yeah.
We have a lot of faith in Christ.
Yeah.
We're just going to start sharing that more and more. But this was our previous episode. What a fun one. It's got dolphins. It's got great beaches. It's got bear, and you know what? And it's got a beautiful lighthouse.
Yeah. Check it out.
Check it out. All right. Without further ado, Buzz fan, we're going to head out to the National Wildlife Refuge of St. Mark's. So let's go. Let's head on out.
Sounds good.
All right. Gotta have a good leash, huh, Bear? All right, come on.
You said you could save me.
Because I'll pause it and I'll get you.
I'm haunted by your smile. I see that you are crazy. For me it is a curse. All that is precious is always worse. Oh,
Get inside. Come on, let's go for a ride. Come on, Bear. Let's go for a ride. You want to go for a ride?
and I've
Come on.
heard
There you go. Good
your
job.
story.
There you go.
You and I headed into the wild. You and I headed into the wild.
Yeah, he's there.
You and I heading into the wild. You and I headed into the wild.
Bear and back.
You said you could save
This way.
me.
Bear getting back. Hi.
You said you could save me. I'm
Bear, come here.
haunted by your smile. I see that you are crazy. For me it is a curse.
Okay, so we're gonna start out here at this temporary visitor center
Sure.
because there's a fantastic pond in the back and a great place to sit and check it out. But there's a lot of good stuff usually to see back here. It's fun.
Right. Let's
And
do it.
also, the important part about stopping at the visitor center is we're going to be able to get a trail map. And that is key, friends, when you're out on the trail.
What do we have back here? This is the pond you're talking about.
Yeah, this is called Plum Orchard Pond.
Okay.
And what's fun back here is you can usually see some gators and some herons and some other birds. But what I love about this space is whether you're just headed out or you're getting ready to go, you have the opportunity to sit in these really comfortable little chairs. There's ceiling fans. And you can just kind of relax and enjoy the nature for a little bit.
Let's do that.
Yeah, while you're getting that trail map. We are here.
Okay.
We're up here. There's only one driving road in and one driving road out. That's my checkered line. So it's a scenic drive all the way down to the Lighthouse and back. And then the other solid lines, those are trails.
So our goal is not to be out here, but to stay on the trail.
Yeah, typically you want to stay on the trail.
Here we go. Let's try that again.
That's okay. Yeah, you want to stay on the trails. But we'll see some things along the way. We'll see what we find today. It's a little bit foggy out this morning, which is not uncommon for this part of the country. As a matter of fact, I heard foghorns around 5 a.m.
Yeah, I didn't know what those were.
Yeah, because we're actually close enough to the coast that you can hear foghorns.
Are they actually serving a purpose out on the coast then, huh?
I think so, yeah. The town of St. Mark's there. They've got that marina.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing is loud.
Yeah, it was loud. It went off quite a bit. Yeah. What else went off this morning?
Our smoke alarm,
Yeah,
non-stop.
yeah.
About the same time, maybe a little later.
I was right after that. Yeah, the smoke alarm started going off.
Like crazy, and that's because of the fog.
Yeah, it's because of the fog.
All right, let's go. You can see down there.
Okay, let's go see what we can see.
Maybe we'll see something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, maybe. The lily pads are starting to bloom.
Yeah. So this is pickerel weed is in here. Grows in shallow freshwater streams and swamps. The heart-shaped or lance-shaped leaves are about 5 inches long on a tall stalk. The violet flowers are densely clustered on a short spike. You see those?
I don't know.
Looks pretty good. All right.
Yeah. It's pretty back here.
Yeah, it is.
But this is exactly the kind of place you have to be careful because of all the foliage in the water. It would make it really hard for you to potentially see a gator in there, especially if it was a small one.
Mm-hmm.
So making sure you keep your dog on a leash along these edges of the shoreline is so, so important. Right, Bear?
Right.
We don't want you to lose a limb.
All right, so the first creature we're looking for is called the, that bird.
The heron?
No, the pink one.
Oh, spoonbills.
Spoonbill.
Yep. There aren't any flamingos on the refuge right now, but there are spoonbills, and hopefully we can find some for you guys.
And they're fairly rare.
Yeah. Okay, we found our first gator. He's just a little guy, and he likes to hang out in this man-made pond that they have behind their education building. They do a lot of great things with the local schools around here. When the sun comes out, this little guy will situate himself up on the rocks and sunbathe. That's their favorite thing.
Where is he?
Over
I
there.
see him. That little guy.
Yep.
Okay, so that's officially our first gator.
Yep.
Now we got some bigger ones in mind, though.
We do.
So I guess we just spilled the beans. We're going to be looking for gators as well.
There's plenty of gators around here. And one popular myth we can debunk is that though gators and movies have really sensationalized gators attacking people, we can understand your angst. And where you want to keep a safe distance from gators, they're not really known to be that aggressive and like come after you.
They'd rather be left alone.
They would. My friend Tamer, the ranger here, she works in the interpretive center. She calls them swamp kitties because all they want to do is have nothing to do with you and bathe in the sun. So, one other thing we got to do before we head out is get water for Bear because he needs water too. And I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that to look for the signs that say potable water. Just don't assume just because there's a bathroom here or you find a faucet or a spigot that it's safe water for you to drink. Potable water is what you need, and in this particular location, the only place to find it is here at their main building.
Heel.
One other fun fact is there are some bat species that are pollinators as well, and these are bat boxes that the refuge put in place to help with the bat population in the area. I'm not going to get too close because there are bats in there. I can tell because over at this bat box, there's plenty of guano underneath, and I guess they stink pretty bad. So you don't want to be in the drop zone underneath a bat box, but you can order what's called a bachelor pad online, and you can create a bat box in your own yard if you're interested in doing that. Maybe not me, but hey, these aren't vampire bats, they're pollinator bats, so they're good for us, right? Do you remember how many bugs bats eat in a day? Their weight, how many?
Oh gosh, I want to say probably tenfold.
Yeah, it's like a lot.
Yeah.
They eat at least their body weight plus in bugs every night. So they're good to have around, and they eat a lot of mosquitoes too.
And in Minnesota, that's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
But we're in Florida, that's a good thing too.
Yeah.
I heard there's a lot of mosquitoes down
There
here.
are. We're here in the best time of year. Sounds like March and April are the best times to be here.
Get inside, bud.
The refuge is filled with palm trees and pine trees and live oak. So these pine trees are either slash pine or the endangered long leaf pine. And I learned yesterday that one way you can tell the difference, well, there's two ways you can tell the difference. One is that a long leaf pine will have a great big pine cone, closer to like a 9-inch size pine cone. And their plumage, I guess that's a bird term, but like the poof at the end, the ones that are more round are going to be the longleaf pine. The ones that are more kind of like a triangular shaped poof at the end are going to be the slash pine. So something interesting. The water levels have been really low due to the drought this year. They're hoping to get some more rain. I guess it's going to be a wet summer, I heard yesterday. It's going to be a really wet summer. Okay, a couple things quick before we hit the trails. Like I said, a good trail map and understanding how to read it and where it's going to take you is key. You want to ask the people at the visitor center or someone in the know if there's a ranger, something, look online, whatever you got to do. Another good backup is a trail app, but don't count on that because sometimes you get crappy service when you're out on the trails. So another thing you got to keep in mind, no bare ankles. I learned this the hard way. There are ticks. They're teeny tiny little black ticks around here. You don't even know that they're there until they've bit you, and my ankles are covered in bites right now.
Where are we going, dear?
Well, we're gonna head over to what's called Headquarters Pond or Tower Pond.
Okay.
Headquarters Pond Trail. They actually put in a really nice ADA trail in here recently. So we're gonna head down there because it's a really great place to see birding. There's shorebirds and wading birds. I call them water birds, but I get laughed at when I do that. I say water birds and air birds, but there's shorebirds and wading birds over here, and we might even find the elusive spoonbills.
Yeah.
They're a little pink, so we'll see how lucky we get. Oh, you know what? I gotta grab binoculars. I have binoculars. Hold on. Lots of pine cones around here. Do you see any 9-inch pine cones? No, not yet. That should be on our list of things to do today too, is find a longleaf pine cone. Oh, I see a bigger one, but I don't think it's 9 inches. That looks like 5.
Okay, so we're headed to Headquarters Pond?
Yep.
Okay, now this particular trail that we're on is notorious, once we get onto the wood boardwalk, notorious for having gator sunbathe.
Yes, yes, this particular observation deck. Yeah, this particular observation deck here
Go ahead.
is where I was warned to watch out for gators when you get up to the top because it gets warm and they love it up here. And there are gators in this pond. We won't see much of them here because they're pretty hidden, but we will see. We will see hopefully some birds.
Yeah, our goal is to see birds, not gators.
Yeah.
Not here.
Yeah. Not gators, not snakes. There are plenty of snakes on the park too, and it sounds like they'll be coming out pretty quick here in the next couple weeks, or probably started about now. I saw a teeny tiny baby one yesterday.
Wow.
They're really noisy.
Yeah.
Do you see any pink out there?
I don't. Are they saltwater? Do they go in saltwater too, those birds that you're talking about? What are they, the duck?
Spoonbills?
Spoonbills.
You have a hard time with that one.
Yeah.
Here, you can take that for a second. I'm gonna grab the binoculars. Another thing that's super helpful if you're in... What in the hell just happened, Bear? You got scared of something. Is there something out there?
He saw something.
He got scared.
He got spooked. He took my walker and ran.
Yeah, behind me.
You must be his protector.
Yeah, I'm his protector, or I'm just easy bait. Anyway, there's some cool apps out there. One of them that I think is really fun is called Merlin.
Oh.
You can turn it on your phone, and when you hear birds making sounds, it'll tell you what kind of bird it is.
No kidding.
Yeah, I got it on my phone. You can check it right now if you want to. There it is. So you just hit the record button.
The culprit of all that racket is right out there. It's really hard to see anything, though. You're gonna get bit.
I think that's it right there. All right, I think we found our spoonbill. That pale pink out there.
Take care.
Yeah, have a good day, you guys. Enjoy your day out here.
So that's our spoonbill.
Yep, there's a spoonbill. There's one.
All right, we got one of them.
Yep.
Now we just got, well, technically we only got one more to go.
Yeah, we wanted to look for the tricolored heron, was another kind of elusive one.
Mm-hmm.
Out here. I don't see any gators, but you can see all the matting down in the tall grass here.
Yeah, that's all from gator.
Yep.
And they like to build their nests in this neck of the woods.
They do. And another thing I learned they like to do is they follow herons and things around, because when the herons try to catch the fish, they go take them from them.
An animal of opportunity.
Yep.
So I learned a little interesting factoid a few days ago about the live oak here in St. Charles Wildlife Refuge. They're trying to repopulate the area with them. Because back in the, I think it was the early 1800s, the Spanish settlers basically milled them all out to use for their ships.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So they're trying to regrow them.
Yeah. I know they've got a really old one up here at the Lighthouse.
Yes.
They've been preserving that one.
Yes, we're going to go stop by. Now, I know we just did a episode last week on a lighthouse.
Yeah.
And we're not purposely trying to inundate you with lighthouses.
No, we're not.
There is a lot of lighthouses in the area, so sometimes it's kind of hard not to get them in. But we are going to another lighthouse, but it won't be a major.
No.
It won't be the major part of this portfolio of videos today.
Okay, sounds good.
These turquoise waters calm my soul. Gentle waves roll as far as I can see. Seashells glisten along the shore, while the ocean breeze caresses me. Everywhere I look, I see God's fingerprints all around me. In this tropical paradise, all around me in this
We talked about I talked about water. Making sure you have plenty of water for your pet.
Yeah.
We talked about ticks.
Ticks, and watch out for if you see a stick, it doesn't really look like a stick.
Yeah.
Maybe throw a rock at it.
Yeah, we learned that. Yeah, we learned that. If it moves, yeah, you throw a rock at it and it moves, then yeah, don't come any closer.
No.
Those are snakes.
Those are snakes. All right, so here we are at a marsh by the Lighthouse, St. Mark.
Oh, look, there's a little blue heron.
Yeah, we got a little blue herring here.
He's cute.
He's looking for grub.
Yep, they're fishing. He's a nice guy.
Not the tricolored herring, though.
Nope, not the tricolored heron.
Heron.
It's not herring like the snack.
Like snack. I'm hungry.
I guess.
Talk
I
about
guess.
sardines, Buzz fam.
Yeah.
I love sardines. Krissy don't.
I bet that little blue heron would like some sardines.
And I said, well, she asked me, why aren't you getting any sardines if you like them so much? I said, well, you don't like them. Well, she says, well, I always get stuff that you don't like. Then I got more. So I just got to rethink my strategy.
Yeah, I'd say so. We talked about bugs and bug spray.
Bug spray. I think we covered all the bases that we wanted to cover.
Did we with pets? I felt like there was more.
No.
Okay.
No.
And then it was just to find.
Oh, just
to find the. Well, so snakes. Yeah, we talked a little bit about snakes. Look for sticks in your pathway.
Yep.
Yeah, look for things that look like sticks that might be up ahead in your pathway. If you're going to be on a bicycle, if you're going to be just walking. The brush, ticks. I feel like there was something else.
No, we covered it all, woman.
Water. All right.
We just got some lunch. That guy, he got one of my sardines.
Did he?
Mm-hmm. Don't eat them all.
He's like, more for me.
Yeah. There's all these little bugs on the shore there.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of little bugs down there. Moving around in the mud. Yeah, the ground is.
And look at those little snails on the reeds.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so much out here.
Mm-hmm. Things are starting to bud.
Yeah.
Springtime is coming.
Yeah.
But right here is one of our favorite places to walk.
How about this, Buzz fam?
Isn't this pretty?
Okay. How nice would it to get lost in paradise like this for a day?
Yeah.
glad-
That's what I was going to talk about.
Take
Thank
here.
you.
What's that?
All right. So I learned a story from another ranger. So we've been doing some work on a really popular trail in St. Mark's called the Cathedral of the Palms.
Oh,
If ever you come this way and you look for trails to head up, you're probably going to see something about Cathedral of the Palms because it's really, really popular. Everybody wants to go find it. And I did find it. It is well worth it. We'll show you that video. But I'll also show you some insights into how we build, how they groom these trails. Because that particular one, though, as popular as it is, it's really poorly marked. And part of it shares pathways with the Florida National Scenic Trail. So it gets confusing out there, and it's a long enough trail, like 6-7 miles, that you don't want to mess up when you're out there. So what I learned was there was a family that took off one day and they got lost in the woods.
oh no.
They lost their bearings and they didn't have a cell signal. So they worked their way to the edge and they found a road. When they got to the road, they were able to call and signal for help. But then for some reason, they thought to go back into the woods to try to get their bearings again and find the trail they were on.
First thing I would
Instead of just taking the road to try to find their vehicle. And they had young kids with them. They had old people with them. It was a terrible situation. They ended up having to get a helicopter in there to get them out. So you should know that having a good trail map, understanding what your group needs. If you've got young people, if you've got older people, ask about difficulty on the trails. Now, the Cathedral of the Palms Trail, while beautiful, and there's Shepherd Spring back there, is also just incredible. It's not heavily trafficked, so there's not a lot of people coming through. And it's not hard, but it is long. And when you're in Florida, it gets super hot and buggy, and there can be snakes. So using sticks to walking sticks to kind of clear your path as you go if you're in tall brush. Otherwise you're just asking for a snake bite or some other kind of situation. But again, they had to helicopter this family out, and of course everybody was fine, but it was kind of a terrible, terrible situation, and it was because they just kind of headed out thinking they knew what they didn't know. And so make sure you're understanding just exactly where you are and where you're headed before you get on the trails, whether you're with kids, older adults, yourselves, and your pets. And don't let your pets run off leash. Okay?
There you have it, Buzz fam.
Okay, that's what we have for you this week. You're going to close out this segment with some beautiful ocean views. What is that?
What is this?
That is
Looks like a little...
That's a turtle.
No.
Well, we're going to have to look that up.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what kind of turtle.
Put that in the comments for me, will you?
Yeah. And we're also going to tell you what kind of bug spray it was you got to get when you're down here. But lots of people fishing out here today.
Let's go look for a gator. I want to see Alex.
You want to see a bigger gator?
I want to see...
You want a big one?
Yeah. I want to see a big gator.
A big gator.
Let's go find one.
Okay.
Let's go look for Big Joe.
Yeah, okay. Well, the other things that are elusive around here are bobcats.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that? What about bears? You want to see those?
We've seen enough of bear.
Yeah, he's outstayed his welcome with us today.
Yes. We didn't bring him down here because of the water.
Yeah, he loves the water too much.
And it's just too hard to deal with him with the water.
And those silly grackles like to harass him.
Yeah, and I've had labs. If you think labs love water, this guy's he's a lab in a German Shepherd coat is what it is.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened to him.
Yeah. But it's hard. Well, and so again, knowing how safe we want to keep him, not letting him off leash, he gets loose from time to time.
Yeah.
And that's no good.
No, he's extremely dangerous, as you see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get back. There, and back.
Are those grackles harassing you again, Bear? You don't like to be teased either, do you? All right, we see another spoonbill. He's out there. Maybe a couple of them. I see some pale pink up next to those white herons. I'm not sure if those are snowy egrets, sorry, snowy egrets or great white egrets. There's plenty of those, and a little bit of pink. It's so cute to see that pink. I don't know for sure. That could be another little blue or a grape. It's not, doesn't look big enough to be a grape blue. But it's hard to tell if it might be a tricolor. It's hard to tell until they start flying. Hey, buddy. I think it might be, though.
I think you did.
Yeah, I think so.
Go.
Well, I'm sure someone will prove me wrong, and that's okay. You see any alligators over here? On the edge, hiding?
Yeah. We're in the salty water, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I do know where to find them. That's all I
Down in
want.
the cypress, the moss and the snakes is a creature of a different kind. Folks that ain't seen him swear that he's fake, but the rest of us are seeing just fine. There ain't nothing like him this side of hell, the biggest gator any of us know. Tough as a oak and mean as well. I wanna hunt Big Joe. I wanna hunt Big Joe, the gator.
Oh, stop. There's alligators. Right here.
Grandpa's fan. I found our third animal that we're looking for. If you look just right out there, you'll see our elusive Big Joe. The gator is right there.
There he is.
He's about, I would say, probably about 10 feet, 8 to 10 feet long. So he's a teenager. He's gator out there.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah. So I'm going to go here. Hey, hon. I'm going to go in and see. I heard the tail is really good.
Yeah.
Gator tail.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in and see what I can do. Wrestle this guy up, and we're going to have some good lunch.
Calm down.
So there
We'll
he
be right
is.
back.
There's Big Joe. Good eye. Good eye, Krissy. Way to go.
So we also know that where they don't necessarily, they avoid salt water, but they can be in some salt water. They prefer fresh water.
We know this is fresh water because there's lily pads on
Yes. The presence of lily pads means there's less salinity in the water.
Yes.
So there you go. Look at all those birds right there. He ain't eating them.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there hanging out with him.
Yep. They like them.
Yep. I don't know what kind of birds those are. Red bills.
They're not scared, though.
Nope. Nope.
Well, let's go get the truck washed.
All right, let's go get the truck washed. It's in desperate need.
Yes.
Take me to the nearest car wash.
Sure, Dollar General.
Not quite. Let's try this again. Okay, guys. After all this fun on the beach, in the swamp, on the trails, this truck is a disaster.
Oh my gosh.
It's so bad. I can hardly stand it.
We've basically got a beach back here. There's so
Yeah.
much sand.
Yeah.
That was when we were at the beach at St.
George.
St. George Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the trails and
Oh gosh.
just living in the woods. It gets messy.
Yeah.
So we're overdue for a wash. So we're going to head over and get the truck washed and clean it out. Oh, I forgot the rugs.
I guess
Doggone it, we're turning around because I want to also wash the rugs, and I'm going to show you what that's all about and why I do it at the car wash.
Yeah, plus we got another surprise for you that we're getting fixed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, hold on. The day is not through. Okay, take two. Got the rugs. They're in the truck.
Okay.
In the back. So, I really want to get the rugs washed. I'm probably going to regret it, though, because it's been so humid. I don't know how long they're going to take to dry. So, hopefully they don't get dirty again while I wait for them to dry. We're headed to get the truck washed.
We got a beach in the back.
Yeah, we do. It's a disaster. So we've got quite a project ahead of us. We're going to show you what that's all about.
How does he carry in so much sand from the beach?
I don't know.
Or does that just get all trapped at it? It's like a whole beach back there. I could build.
Yeah.
If it was wet sand, I could build a sand castle.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take the entire, that whole covering out and shake it and clean it off. But
Next thing we got is we're getting our truck fixed.
we are. We're going to get the truck fixed.
We'll show you what that's all about. You probably don't even, those of you that just started tuning into us probably don't even have any clue of what happened to the truck.
We finally found the time
Yeah.
to get that taken care of, so we're looking forward.
About that in a little bit.
Okay, yeah, hold tight. We'll talk about how much that cost and what we learned about it too in the
Yeah,
process.
the cost.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, more to
That's
come.
actually very interesting. So hold
It
tight,
is.
Bus Fam.
Yeah. A couple things we're going to do today is, of course, clean the exterior.
Yeah.
I'm going to clean some rugs.
You clean rugs.
I'm excited about that. Hopefully, I don't regret it, like I said. And then we're going to clean the inside. So we're going to have to pull out
The mat.
somewhere else around here and get everything else cleaned out.
Yep.
And in the meantime, Bear's going to have to figure out what to do with himself.
He's gonna be bored. But hey, Bus Fam, let's take you to the front of this truck. We'll show you what
Oh,
we're
yeah.
getting fixed.
Yeah, hold on.
Go.
All right, you guys.
It molded perfectly to a bollard?
A post.
Yeah, perfectly molded for that.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and get this fixed. It's been hard because we've been moving every 2 weeks, so we haven't really had a chance to get it fixed. So
Yeah.
it's been since last summer that this has been,
Yeah.
unique like this.
Yeah. Our
Yep.
signature.
Yeah. That's gonna get fixed. And in Minnesota, we had a bid for just under $5,000.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, just under $1,200.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even know how they're making money on it.
Yeah. We're not sure, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
So we're
right,
gonna get
well,
that done.
Get this thing going. Let's get the floor mats out first.
Okay.
I'll get the floor mats, get them hooked on this. Oh, man.
Yeah. That's a
Ooh.
mess.
Well,
Okay. There's one. I'll go get the other one.
okay. Got to get her working. She never does anything around here.
Okay.
A lot of tension on that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. What the hell?
You gonna make it in there?
I don't know. Like, holy muscles.
Here, you better let Muscles do that for
I
you.
guess.
Watch this, everyone. Just
Okay.
take a little bit of tension there.
Yeah. Kiss my. All right. I'm going to grab the rugs out of the back, let you do your thing.
I'm gonna go get this thing started. I don't know if you guys want to get wet. I know I don't want to get all our equipment wet.
No.
So we're gonna pause this and
See you in a little bit.
we'll see you in a bit.
The ram is looking fuzzy. It's a German Shepherd blizzard. Time to wash this truck and go find a feathered lizard. Got the first aid kit for critter bites and thorns. Leaving that retractable for when we blow the horns. Heading down to St. Mark's, Buzz Fam. Come along and see for another Boondock Buzz with Krissy Bear and Big E.
All right. Nothing like taking rugs to the car wash.
Well, they were pretty dirty. So anything will be better than what they were.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about the truck too. Anything will be better than what it was.
Yeah. So let's get over there so I can mess with this and we'll get the vacuuming done. But you know what? I think we gave all our quarters
Oh,
to the peanut guy.
Quarters.
So let me go see if it takes cards.
All right.
We used all our quarters on the boiled peanut guy.
We spent all our quarters on the
All
ball.
our dollars at the boiled peanut
Yeah,
stand.
so now we don't have any quarters to get the vacuuming done.
To get the vacuum done, yeah. So
now we gotta go back home and get the vacuuming done.
yeah, we'll do that at home. We got another stop to make. We could come back or stop at a different vacuum. We just need more. We need more cash.
All right. Well, why don't we do that?
Yeah.
All
Well, okay, we'll figure it out.
All right. Well. Anyway.
Okay. Okay. Well, now we're heading back. That's it for us for today. We'll see you again real soon, and we bless you.
Yes, we bless you, Buzz Fam. And hey, remember, it's a dangerous road out there. So please buckle up. And hey, Buzz Fam, if you like this episode, I've got 2 more episodes you can buzz on each side of your screen. And remember, always keep your moral compass pointed north. So until next time, Buzz Fam, we'll see you then.
Hey, super fast though.
Oh, what?
Don't forget, we had an episode that's referencing where we dented our bumper.
Yeah.
If you want to see that full episode and understand how I botched it up that day, I'd encourage you to check that one out as well.
You bet.
Okay,